Good morning. Today we'll start with the pressure and fluid statics. In the previous we had solved about the force Fr on this plate. We now define the line of action of resultant force Fr. Two parallel force systems are equivalent if they have the same magnitude and the same moment about any point. The line of action of the resultant hydrostatic force in general does not pass through the centroid of the surface. So this is your centroid of the surface, but this line of action of this force will pass from a yp distance from this z-axis. This is your line of action here, while your centroid is here. So on the line of action, pressure is higher as compared to at this point. The line of action of resultant hydrostatic force does not pass through the centroid of the surface. It lies underneath where the pressure is higher. The point of intersection of line of action of resultant force and a surface is center of pressure. So this point is called center of pressure. So where your line of action of the resultant force and surface intersect, this point is called center of pressure. The vertical location of the line of action is determined by equating the moment of resultant force to the moment of distributed pressure force about the x-axis. So what is the moment? That is Fr multiplied by Yv, that will give moment. So Yp into Fr is equal to integration of Y pressure into dA. Means we will integrate this. We had find the pressure P, we had this distance Y, and we will integrate for this for overall over area. So put the pressure value here, that is P naught rho Gy sin theta dA. So when you integrate it, you will get these two equations. So this equation we can write as P naught Yc centroid area, because when you integrate for y dA, this y and dA, you will get Yc into centroid into area. And when you integrate this portion, that is y square dA, this is called the second moment of area. So this values we write as Ixx about the point O. So Ixx about the O means your second moment of area, that is integral y square dA, also called the moment of inertia about the x-axis. The second moment of area are widely available for common shapes in engineering handbooks, but they are usually given about the axis passing through the centroid of area. Means if this line of action pass through the centroid of area, for those we had already calculated moment of inertia for different shapes, which is, you can see here, this is your centroid of a plate, this is centroid of a circle, this is centroid of ellipse, this is centroid of triangle. So for all these different shapes, the moment of inertia about the centroid is given for rectangular, for circle, for ellipse. But in this case which we are discussing, this line of action is not passing through the centroid, it is at some distance. Means it is at this distance from the centroid. So in that case, what would be the moment of area? Fortunately, the second moment of area about two parallel axes are related to each other by the parallel axis theorem, which is in this case is, so Ixx about this line of action, this point O is equal to Ixx about the centroid plus Yc square A. So where Ixx is the second moment of area about the x-axis passing through the centroid of area. Now we had the second moment of area about the O in terms of moment of area about the centroid. So you can replace here this term. We had this term here. You can put from here into this equation. FR we had already calculated in the previous calculations. So this is your FR here. So you can substitute in the equation for FR and second moment of inertia. So after putting FR and this moment of inertia, you will get Yp in terms of Yc. This is your Yp, means now you know the line of action of force, this distance. You had calculated this distance Yp. You know where is your force, line of action of the force, and you had calculated the center of pressure. Now say pressure P0 is 0, which is usually the case when atmospheric pressure is ignored. So if you ignore this atmospheric pressure, this term become equal to 0. This whole term become equal to 0. And Yp is equal to Yc plus second moment of inertia about centroid divided by Yc into area. Now if you know this Yp, you can find this vertical distance from the surface. So Hp means the height from the surface for your center of pressure is equal to Yp into sine theta. Pressure acts normal to the surface, and the hydrostatic force acting on a flat plate of any shape form a volume whose base is plate area and whose height is linearly varying as shown in figure. So this virtual pressure prism has an interesting physical interpretation. So this is the pressure prism, which will show the distribution of pressure throughout this plate with this surface. So pressure you can see at the bottom is highest. When you go in the upper side, the pressure will decrease. Now this virtual prism, its volume is equal to the magnitude of resultant hydrostatic force acting on the plate. Since volume is equal to integration of pressure into dA, means if you calculate the volume of this prism, you can calculate the pressure, and if you know pressure and this area and you integrate over a whole, you will get the volume of prism. And the line of action of this force passes through the centroid of this homogeneous prism. The projection of the centroid on the plate is the pressure center. Therefore, with the concept of pressure prism, the problem of describing the resultant hydrostatic force on a plane surface reduces to finding the volume and the two coordinates of the centroid of this pressure prism. Now consider a special case of submerged rectangular prism. Suppose consider your rectangular plate is completely submerged with height b and width a, and it is tilted angle theta from the horizontal, whose top edge is horizontal and is at a distance s from the free surface along the plane of the plate. You can see this is tilted plate inclined by angle theta with this surface and at a distance s from this O point on the surface. Yp is distance from the center of pressure. Now we have to find what is this force. The resultant hydrostatic force on the upper surface is equal to the average pressure, which is the pressure at the midpoint of the surface times the surface area A, that is tilted rectangular plate. So Fr is equal to force resultant is equal to Pc into area. Now Pc is equal to pressure at centroid is given P0 plus rho g into S plus B by 2 into sine theta into area is AB, area of the plate. So for centroid, you know this distance, that is S plus B by 2, and area of plate is A into B. Now for plate, this is your second moment of inertia, that is ABQ by 12. Put the value here, that second moment of inertia and a value of Yc. You will get this equation here. Now HP is equal to Yp sine theta in this case. Now if plate is at the surface, if you take this plate and S is 0, means plate is lying just below the surface, then your S becomes 0 here. By putting S is 0, the equation reduces to Fr is equal to P naught plus rho g b sin theta by 2 into AB. Let's discuss one more case. When theta is 90, means plate is fully vertical. So theta becomes 90, sin theta is equal to 1. This equation reduces to this here. Or in one more case, when your plate is horizontal. Now if plate is horizontal, your force and its line of action will be at the center of the plate, and we will use this h height, that the distance from the surface, because now plate is horizontal. So distance at each and every point from the surface is same. So when the effect of P naught is ignored, since acts on the both sides of plate, the hydrostatic force on the vertical rectangular surface of height b, whose top edge is horizontal, and at the free surface is Fr is equal to rho g AB square by 2, means if you ignore the P naught, acting at a distance of 2b by 3 from the free surface directly beneath the center of the plate. So then this distance will be your 2b by 3. In this case, the pressure distribution on the submerged horizontal surface is uniform and its magnitude is P naught plus rho gh. So this is here uniform pressure distribution throughout the plate if the plate is horizontal, and it acts at the midpoint of the plate. Hydrostatic force acting on a door of a submerged car. A heavy car plunges into lake during an accident and lands at the bottom of the lake on wheels. The door is 1.2 meter high and 1 meter wide, and the top edge of door is 8 meter below the free surface. You can see here this car is 8 meter below. This is the top edge of the car. The door is 1 meter wide and 1.2 meter in height. So you have to find determine the hydrostatic force on the door and location of the pressure center, and discuss if the driver can open the door. So now we take the density of the lake water as 1000 kg per meter cube. The average pressure on the door is the pressure value at the centroid midpoint of door, and is determined to be, so P average is equal to PC, which is equal to rho g hc. Now what is hc? That is the height from the centroid of the door. So it is 8 meter plus centroid of door is plus 1.2 meter divided by 2, means this from this point, this is the centroid here. So 8 plus 0.6, which is equal to, here you will get the P average is 84.4 kN per meter square. Then the resultant hydraulic force on the door becomes, now what is resultant hydraulic force? That is P average multiplied by area of door. Area of door is 1 into 1.2 meter, which is 1.1.3 kN. The pressure center is directly under the midpoint of the door, and its distance from the surface of lake is determined from equation. You can use this equation. So put this P naught 0, you will get the remaining value here by putting P naught 0. So Yp is equal to this, and Yp is equal to, after solving, 8.61 meter, means that is the pressure center is directly 8.6 meter below the surface. A strong person can lift 100 kg weight whose weight is 981 Newton or about 1 kilonewton. Also the person can apply the force at the point farthest from the hinge, means from the door hinge, that is 1 meter, for maximum effect and generate a moment of 1 kilonewton, means 1 meter multiply 100 kg, you will get 1 kilonewton meter of the torque at the door. The resultant hydrostatic force acts under a midpoint of the door and thus a distance of 0.5 meter from the hinges. So if you multiply this force by this 0.5, you will get the moment. So this generates a moment of 50.6 kilonewton, which is about 50 times the moment the driver can possibly generate, means it is almost 50 times what driver can generate. So it is impossible for driver to open the door. The driver's best, you can say, way is to open the door by letting some water in, by rolling the window down a little, for example, and keep his or her head close to the ceiling. The driver should be able to open the door shortly before the car is filled with water, since at that point the pressure on both sides of the door are nearly the same and opening door in the water is almost as easy as opening in the air. Subscribe this channel, like this video, and thank you for watching this video.